Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me today. In today's painting, we're painting a horse, a white horse. I haven't painted a horse on this video or on this YouTube channel yet. So with this particular painting, if you want to paint a brown horse or a black horse or change the colors, feel free to do that. And all you're going to do is swap out my darker colors for your shades of black and dark gray or your shades of brown. So again, feel free to change this to make this a horse color that you want to paint. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I will respond as quick as I can to help you with kind of switching out some of those colors. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and he was really, really cool to paint. And what you're going to find that even though we're painting a white horse, it's going to be shades of light gray, so that way we can create an illusion on our flat surface of a 3D object. So what you're going to see in this video, in the description box below, and all my other videos, I have supply kits. And those supply kits are everything that you need to create this particular painting. All your brushes, your colors, your surfaces, your traceables. So check that out and acquire the things that you need to make this painting. The other thing that you're going to see in the description box below is a link to a traceable. And a traceable is a nice way to get that initial image on your canvas or your panel before you even start painting. And for my first time painters, this is a very useful tool, so utilize it. There's a link for a video on how to transfer your traceable, and then a link on where to acquire those traceables. So again, check those out in the description box below. With any painting or anything that you do creative, move forward with kind of a light heart. I don't want you to take yourself really seriously as you're painting. You have permission to change colors. You have permission to color outside the lines or paint outside the lines. You have permission to paint something entirely different. But the fact is, just paint something. So I think that's enough talking for now. Go ahead and we're gonna get started painting. All right, guys, I hope you're ready to paint. Get all your supplies together and head on over to where you will be painting. This one's gonna be a fun one. All right, do turn on your favorite music. Get whatever you need to be more relaxed and more comfortable. And as always, make sure you take your progress photos. All right, so as we're starting out, once you've transferred your traceable to your canvas, we're gonna take the small pointy brush and black paint, and we're gonna go over all those outlines. And you can use that pointy brush or even your liner brush, whichever one that you feel like you want a little more practice with. And as you're working with this, notice the pressure of your brush. Play with that as you're making these lines. A lighter pressure, skinnier lines. A more intense pressure, you're gonna have some fatter lines and whiter lines. So play with those. All right, so again, we are just outlining everything. If you are a first-time or beginner painter and you're holding your breath right now, or even if you're an experienced painter and you're holding your breath, take a deep breath for me. Just relax. This is a nice outlet. I'm proud of you for painting at home. It takes a lot of courage, especially for my first-time painters. So be kind to yourself as we go through this process today. Just the fact that you are sitting there attempting it right now, or even just watching the video thinking about attempting it. These are the first steps to finding more comfort with painting, and it is an extremely therapeutic outlet. And I encourage that you do this at least once a month. Something creative, some type of painting. You will see benefits in your life from this. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo. And we're going to move into painting our background. And I'm going to use the small flat brush and using blue and white paint for a light blue. And you want to start with your white, add a touch of blue, and keep adding blue until you get to the shade that you want for your background. And I'm going to cover a majority of this space in with kind of a medium or a light blue, and then I'll be adding some other colors on top of it and talking about a wet on wet blending method. So if you moved right into painting your background after doing your outlines, just kind of be careful if your black paint is still wet as you bring your background next to that wet paint. If you happen to get some black paint in your background, use a paper towel, wipe it off, and then reapply your background. And if you're having the texture of your canvas show through, I encourage you to apply your paint a little bit thicker. You do want your brush to kind of glide back and forth on the canvas. You can add a touch of water, but I wouldn't recommend adding a lot because you still want a nice consistency if you're going to do some of this blending. All right, so here I'm doing that wet on wet blending. I took a chunk of blue and just kind of slapped it on top of the background. And you can see as I move my brush back and forth, it literally mixes with that background color and the new color that you just introduced. And because I painted kind of thick, I've got some expressive brush strokes showing up. Feel free to play with this. If you want to finger paint and move some of the paint around, go right ahead and do that. And here I added some white, again, just to kind of change the shade, the gradient of your background. All right, get your background to where you like, pause the video and take your progress photo. And now we're going to be moving into the colors of our horse. And we're going to start with a medium gray. So I pulled some white aside and added a touch of black to get to that medium gray. And keep in mind, a little bit of black is going to go a long way in the white paint. So start off adding it sparingly. And even though this is a white horse, if we painted white on a white canvas, we really wouldn't have much definition. So we have to create the illusion of shadows and depth. And we're going to be doing that by using the gray paint. So here, as I'm applying the medium gray, I will want you to utilize the pause section of the video. And you're going to be utilizing your power of observation. I want you to look at this shape and the placement of where I added this gray, this medium gray color. And I just want you to do your best to kind of mimic that shape. And if you happen to make your shape larger or smaller than what I paint on here, that's okay. You can always add more, or every painting is going to be slightly different. So it just becomes part of your painting today. If you need to move down to the small pointy brush at any point, feel free to do that. If you're painting on a larger canvas, feel free to use a larger brush. And even as we're applying the paint, play with that pressure of the brush and just kind of observe how much space it's covering, how little space it's covering. Again, you're just getting comfortable with paint and your brushes. You're doing good. Again, take a deep breath if you're holding your breath right now. Smile at yourself. Turn your music up so you can kind of sway your head to it a little bit, but just chill out. And don't freak out. It is supposed to look kind of funky. We'll be moving into a lighter gray next and kind of backtracking till we add our white on here. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and we're going to make a lighter gray next. And again, I'm just going to kind of take that white, add it to the side of the medium gray, so that way I can kind of mix with what I was just using. And you want to go down 3 or 4 shades from what you were just using. So if you have a bit of a darker gray than what I have, I want you to go down a few shades from what you were using. And I'm going to encourage you to actually paint this painting a little bit quicker than you may be comfortable with, so that way we can blend these shades of gray while the paint is still wet. And I'm painting fast enough on this one that you will see that as I come up to the darker grays, I'm going to blend that transition between the two colors. And that's again just kind of using my brush, moving it back and forth and softening that line between the two. And again on this, if you feel like you're not quite getting it with the brush, use your fingers to blend the wet paint. It's got a really nice therapeutic value for that. And sometimes it's good to get your fingers dirty. And again, I am applying that paint a little bit thicker. That helps with the blending. If you can see the texture of your canvas, you've been applying or adding water to your paint, you may have a little bit issue of your paint drying faster than if you paint thicker. So if you happen to be painting at a bit of a slower pace, or you're painting more in the watercolor style, and you happen to have more harsh or direct lines in between your two colors, embrace that. That just happens to be your style for today. And it's a fun style. It's a good style. So don't sell yourself short saying, just because it doesn't look like what I'm painting on the video, yours is going to have its own style. All right, so now we're filling in a bit where the hair is, and you will see that I'll be overlapping some of the initial black outline that we did. We will reapply those black outlines at the end of the painting. So you're doing a good job. You're breathing, you're relaxing. Hopefully you're forgetting that the rest of the world is out there, forgetting about your day, forgetting about anything that has stressed you out. You're doing good. And even if you get a little frustrated or stressed out with the painting, keep painting. Finish this video, finish your painting all the way to the end. Because really the only failure in art is not painting. So again, the fact that you are doing this right now, you are already successful. All right, so pause the video, take your progress photo, and at this point, all of our canvas should be filled up with either the dark gray or the medium gray that we were using. There should not be any canvas space left. Now we're going to make a darker gray and use the small pointy brush. And you can see I just took a little bit of black and added it to the other side of the medium gray spot. And I actually need to make it a little bit darker. And you may find that you have to do that in painting. You may make a color on the plate, but when you apply it to your painting, you go, oh, needs to be a little bit darker, needs to be a little lighter. So again, trust your instincts and adjust as needed. So as we apply this darker gray in a few select areas, this is just giving us one more darker value. And again, creating that illusion of a 3D object on our flat surface of our canvas or our panel. So in my classes, I get to tell you that you're a magician right now. You're creating that illusion of a 3D object on a flat 2D surface. And again, I'm painting this at a swift enough pace that some of this darker gray will blend in with the color underneath. If you are not painting at that pace and it sits a bit more solid, embrace that. Again, that is your style for today. You could paint this again tomorrow and realize you need to go faster or slower, and then that's your style for that day. Basically, just keep painting. It's good for you. All right, so I'm going to grab some of that straight black, just a few spots where I need it really dark. And again, my paint is wet, so it's mixing with that darker gray. And then we're going to put it into the ear. The nose and the ear, some of the darker spots on our horse. Nice, good job. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo. And we're going to put a touch of raw sienna on the plate. It's going to be the eye color for our horse. But this is your painting, so if you want a blue-eyed horse, or a darker brown or green, whatever color you would like to make your horse's eye, you can change it to that. Same if you would like to do this tutorial and paint a black horse. You would actually just switch out your colors for darker shades of gray. If you want to do a brown horse, you'd switch out these shades of gray that I used for various shades of brown. So again, feel free to switch out colors to make your horse what you want. If you want to go super funky, maybe switch out these grays for shades of purple or shades of blue. Get expressive. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and we're going to move into white paint. We're going to put some extreme highlights on here. And I am applying the paint a little bit thicker. So every couple of brush strokes, grab more white paint and apply it. So that way it stays a little bit more opaque and doesn't become transparent, especially with the student grade paints you might be using. And if your undercolors, your shades of the lighter gray are still wet, this white paint that you're applying will blend in with it. So that's again why I'm applying it kind of thick. All right, and this is our highlight value on our horse. What we did today was use 3 or 4 different shades of gray: dark gray, medium gray, light gray, and white, and black, which we'll be doing our outlines with. And you can create pretty much any painting with 3 to 4 shades or colors. And the more that you paint, the more you will start to recognize that and build that vocabulary on how to paint those, or how to look at a picture and break down the shades or the values that you see. And the more that you paint, the more that you see, or the more things that you'll understand. With anything, the more you practice, the better you get. All right, and for the hair, I'm actually using kind of one long brush stroke as a strand of hair. So as you're adding the hair, feel free to overlap these long brush strokes. We will be using some shades of lighter gray to kind of create some depth with that hair. And then those outlines that we do at the end will give it some nice definition. And again, that kind of pop art feel. So you're doing a great job. Hopefully you've much more relaxed now than you were when you started the painting. Maybe you're painting with some friends and you guys are just having a great time and making good memories. So again, just the fact that you're painting, I'm so proud of you. All right, so still just adding hair. The bangs on our horse, you can get him kind of expressive, like he's dancing or running in the wind. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and we're going to go back to our black paint. We're going to be doing our outlines, and I'm using the small pointy brush, or feel free to use your liner brush. And your call if you want to go with really skinny black outlines or none at all, or if you want to go with thicker black outlines. I'll be doing kind of thicker black outlines, again, for kind of that pop art feel. So again, play with the pressure of your brush. And if you need to add a touch of water to your black paint, that will help the fluidity and help the flow of your brush against the canvas. Make sure you breathe. You're doing a great job. You're doing good. Again, you can reference your traceable as far as the placement of where the black lines are, especially when we kind of move into the hair. And again, trust your instincts. If you feel like putting more hair lines in than I do, or maybe a few little dimples on your horse or some little expressive lines, go ahead and do it.
So here you can see that I put my pinky out. That kind of gives me a steady pivot point. So play with different ways to be comfortable with holding the brush and applying the pressure. And another reason the progress pictures are so important is I want you to keep those progress pictures. And in a year from now, 4 years from now, when you're still painting, I do want you to go back and look at your pictures from some of your early paintings. It is awesome, so awesome to see how far you've come in visual form. So again, that's why the progress pictures have many, many reasons why they're important. All right, so again, here you can see where I'm using my pinky. I'm using that as a pivot point. You can also rest your forearm against the table. And again, breathe. All right, so again, we are just outlining everything. If you are a first-time or beginner painter and you're holding your breath right now, or even if you're an experienced painter and you're holding your breath, take a deep breath for me. Just relax. This is a nice outlet. I'm proud of you for painting at home. It takes a lot of courage, especially for my first-time painters. So be kind to yourself as we go through this process today. Just the fact that you are sitting there attempting it right now, or even just watching the video thinking about attempting it. These are the first steps to finding more comfort with painting, and it is an extremely therapeutic outlet. And I encourage that you do this at least once a month. Something creative, some type of painting. You will see benefits in your life from this.
Hey guys, I hope your horses turned out really cool. Please, as you're uploading these to social media, tag me at Paint with Lovejoy or hashtag Paint with Lovejoy. I really want to see your progress, how you're evolving, what you're painting, and just kind of how it's going for you at home. With that being said, please leave comments, feedback, suggestions on things that you want painted. Your comments and questions help me evolve as I'm making these videos for you, so I know things that I need to adjust or to continue to explain since you are painting at home. So again, please give me some feedback. Let me know how it's going. And keep painting. Check out all the other videos I have on my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Check out all the other YouTube painting professionals out there that are doing the step-by-step stuff. The more that you paint, the better you get and the more comfortable you get. So don't stop painting. It's good for your soul. I think that kind of takes care of most of it today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to paint with me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to painting with you in the future. Cheers. Yeah, where are we going with that?